We're going to go over the K1 Gold Series. As with any custom systems we build, comes with a lifetime warranty on dead cost repair, replace, loaner program. The system consists of several components. We're going to go from the bottom to the top. You'll see there's 3 different bags here. Each bag holds different things. You have one bag which holds the microphone stands, another that holds the speaker stands, and the last one that holds the actual TV stand. And then as you look up here, you have the main components starting from the bottom here. You have the Audio 2000 AKJ 7403 mixing amplifier. Unlike your standard mixing amplifier as far as karaoke goes, this is actually double the power of most of the karaoke amplifiers out there. You will be able to run 4 speakers as opposed to traditionally 2. It has feedback processor built into the amplifier. It has your main microphone volume and the amount of echo that you put into it. And then also below this, this is fine-tuning the echo. Unlike your standard digital echo, you're able to adjust the repeat and the delay, which makes the depth of the echo itself. Then you could actually adjust the bass, mid, and treble within the echo. Right here you have 3 microphone inputs, 1, 2, 3. You'll notice that I don't have anything plugged into it right now because I have the microphone inputs plugged into the back. There's a total of 5. 3 run independently, and the remaining 2 actually run off of these 2 mic inputs in the back. So basically you'll see here the volume control. It says 1, 2, and 3, but you also see A and B. So A and B represents if you plugged into the back. Then as you look over here, you have your microphone EQ, which is your bass, mid, and treble. Then you also have your EQ for your music, and then you also have a spot here for a headphone, which various karaoke amplifiers, you want to look for that as well. A lot of them don't have it. Then you go back up here, mention the feedback processor. Then over to the right or left here, you see the key controller. You basically, if you need to change the song up or down, you can change it up and down, and then you could hit the middle button just to automatically go back to it being standard. Then over here, this is the sources. This is how many different items that you could hook up to it. Currently, right now, we have the karaoke player, which is on the DVD. Then the next one, we actually have the cable where you could hook up a laptop or an iPod or a smartphone and so forth. And then you have your main music volume here. You'll notice that this is all LED backlit. Then the next item you have above it is the Cavs 203G USB player. This is going to play all your regular CDs, regular karaoke CDs, which are CD plus G. You could play DVD movies. You could play the Cavs formatted, what they're called Super CDGs. You could also upload music using your computer and a free software from Cavs and upload all your discs and songs directly to a drive and then run it off of the USB in the back. Then you have the wireless microphones. These are dual UHF. They're rechargeables. You'll notice as you put in here, it'll light up showing that it's charging. When it needs charge, it'll probably be red. Right now it's showing a full charge. When you take it out of the base and you turn it on, you'll notice that it'll give you the RF signal. Then you'll also notice here, check 1, 2, it'll also give you the AF level. Pretty much have these set. You could turn those up, but you want to adjust it from the amplifier itself. You have 3 different remote controls. One is for your mixing amplifier, you have one for your karaoke player, and then you'll have one for the TV. The TV is for demonstration purposes only. The customer actually has something that's a little slightly larger than this. Your standard K1 Gold series that we advertise does not include the mic stands and the TV stand. We actually customized it for this particular customer that wanted that included. The mic stands that are in this, these are the same ones we use on our stage. These are quick release. As far as them being the easiest mic stands on the market, Once you're done maneuvering it, you just sit it right there. That's it. This right here, we're using these mic clips because they come with this particular wireless microphone. It does hold the corded, it's a little bit loose, but this is specifically formatted for that. Then you have your Peavey PVX 12 passive speakers. All the Peavey components, with the exception of accessories, come with a 5-year warranty. There's a 1/4-inch plug here going right into the speaker. You'll notice that there's a different input back here. This is just in case you want to use a different type of input. It also allows you to link speakers, basically daisy chaining them. This particular speaker has 2, 3 handles on it so that you get for easy transport. It's relatively light, it's under 40 pounds. This is modeled after the, its previous version was the PR series, which was probably one of the most sold speakers in the world. This is the new PVX that took over the PR series. What a lot of people don't know is that this speaker actually, the components inside are the same as what they used with the PR series, but the difference is how they put the cabinet together, the type of cabinet, so it resonates the sound better. And then as far as the hookups go for the system, we're going to go over the hookups in a minute. And before I do that, you have the speaker stands. In this case, he's getting the Peavey speaker stands. So unlike your traditional ones, this is a little bit different. Even the knobs are a little bit different on this. These are well built and they're extremely light. Now, going back over here, when you're utilizing the player, one of the first things that you want to see, and what I'll do is I'm going to take the remote here. Right now, the reason why you see our logo up on the screen is we actually have it hooked to a computer. So we want to concentrate on using this. But this will allow you, just in case you ever use a laptop, if you're looking at the TV, the laptop, if you had a laptop hooked up, you'd have the video. Then if you wanted to switch over to the player, you're basically doing the source on your remote. And right now we have it set at HDMI. I'll go ahead and hit this again. And then what I'll do is, the player is set on AV. So I'm going to go up to AV, press enter, and what it's going to do is it's going to bring up the actual cabs player. Now what I want to do is I want to show you what it looks like on the screen when you are powering up the player. So I'm going to turn off the player. This is so that you understand what you're looking at when you're doing the player. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on the player, and the first thing it's going to do is it's going to show that it's initializing. Once it initializes, it should pop up with the cabs logo, and it's trying to search for a disc. It will say no disc. Now you know that your player's ready. So with regards to using a drive, you want to make sure that there's no disc in the player, no drive is hooked up, and then you go ahead and turn on the machine. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a disc, and we're going to go ahead and put the disc in. And this is just to show you what we're using the cabs Super CDG disc. And once it's loading, it's going to show that it's loading, and it's going to pop up with a screen showing you how many songs are on that particular disc. And the way the screen looks, that is what your Super CDGs look like. But when you're looking at a regular CD, if you popped in a regular CDG disc, all you would see is CDDA loaded up on the left-hand corner of the actual screen and so forth. So now that it does that, if you look at the front of this unit, it'll show 55000. That's typically what it looks like when it's loaded up, and you'll see that on the screen. And then basically you just press whichever number you want and press enter and play the song. Now let's say you're not using a disc at all, and the first thing you're doing is you're basically going with utilizing the USB. So once again, when you start up the player, you want to make sure it says no disc. And then the back of the player, there's a USB port back here. And you just go ahead and plug your drive in. For demonstration purposes, we're using a flash stick, or what you call a thumb drive. Once it loads up, you're going to see that it comes up with the files. We recommend, it's not all the time that you have to do it, but if you're doing just regular CDGs, and you're going to have song 1 through, let's say, 2000, you're going to want to create a folder on your drive that says karaoke songs. So we're going to go ahead and go into the karaoke songs. For demonstration purposes, we have one song that's selected, and you just go ahead and play the song. And then when you're done, let's say you want to switch from the drive and over to the CD. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take the CD, load that up, now it automatically switched over. Sometimes it's not going to do that, so on your remote control, if you had to, there's a D/U button here, and we'll go over that once this is up and running, and I'll show you how to switch over from playing CDs to utilizing the thumb drive. Okay, so that we don't have to mess around with it, I'm going to go ahead and click on here. Or actually, I'm going to go ahead and take it out. Well, there it goes. You hit the D/U button. Well, I actually pressed a few buttons. Well, you know what? This is actually a good opportunity so that you could see what happened. I didn't wait for this to finish, so I ended up pushing buttons, and what I ended up doing was I stopped it from allowing me to do something. Let's see if I could press a number. See how it's frozen? That's what happens when you don't do something right. But that was a great opportunity to even show you on the fly that this type of stuff does happen. So what I'm going to do is you want to take out your drive, if it ever freezes, and you want to go ahead and basically reboot your player. You could keep the disc in there. I don't think it would be a problem leaving the disc in there. But if I was to reboot the player and so forth, it's going to initialize again, and then what it's going to do is it's going to start loading up the disc. Now, with Super CDGs and this type of technology, it's looking for a lot of different formats, so it's going to take a little bit longer than your traditional CD player that only looks for a regular CD and so forth. So if you were to put a regular CD in there, it would load up pretty quick. So this one right here, as you look down back here, you'll see that it came up with that. It's up and running on the CD. Now what I want to do is I'm going to put the drive back in. I'm going to give it a chance to load. It automatically went over there. But let's say I don't want to use that, and I want to go over to, back over to the DVD drive. I choose the DVD drive. Now what it's doing is it's going back over to the CD player. And then once I'm done with the CD player, I could just hit that D/U on the remote control and go back over to the drive. So I could do this, and you look at the screen, allow me to go back over to the USB device, which is your thumb drive, and it's going to load that up, and you go right back in and utilize it on the remote control. It does have a lot of the same features. If you hit the continue button, if you're looking at the screen, if I hit the continue button, you'll notice in the left-hand corner it says continue. Hit it again, single, continue. You want to set it on continue when you set it up, because you could take the songs and press a song. So let's say you wanted to press a song, you could press 4, program, 6, program, 13, program. So you could program different songs to play. And let's say someone doesn't want to come up to sing, you could easily take them out of rotation by basically playing and stopping the song, and then it will go right to the next song so that it doesn't play that song. And then down here you also have the key control. Then you also have what's called an internal volume in the player. So if you feel like you need just a little bit boost from the player, you could turn this up and it'll turn the volume on that. As far as the hookups of the system, we're going to go ahead and walk around to the back here, and I'm going to go over how it's hooked up. You have from the bottom the amplifier, the back of the amplifier. You'll notice that I have, these are called banana clips. And you'll notice that this one is white and black, even though there's some cables that will have basically red and black, or I've seen them red and white. You'll notice that the black cable typically is the ground, but you'll also notice there is a protrusion here. That shows your ground. So I'm basically going to line up the black with the black, or if you can't do that, you use that one side that shows the ground side and line that up. Then over to the left, you'll notice that I have two things hooked up. I have your karaoke player hooked up here. Then I have your cable, which is the 1/8-inch cable that you could plug into a laptop, iPod, smartphone, any type of device that will go ahead and play audio with an 1/8-inch jack to allow it to come through the system. You're able to do that. Then going back over the actual cables for the wireless microphones, they're going up right to the wireless microphones here, channel 1 and 2. Then as we look at the back of the karaoke player, you'll notice that I have it set up for 2-channel. So this cable's going from here to the DVD. Then you also have the video cable. This is going from here directly into the TV. So even the hookup is relatively simple. And then we also went over the back of the speaker. We'll look at that again. So from the back of the amplifier, that banana clip into this, that's how you hook it up. So this is pretty much it for the system. If you have any type of questions or suggestions on what you'd like to see or different things that you'd like to see explained, just let us know.